Alright, so I just saw the movie Cloud Atlas, which I don't really know what that means, but it might have showed in the movie, but I forget. That's kind of my thing. I forget a lot of things. Anyway, similar to getting off track already, it's not a good start. So, Cloud Atlas has like 7 stories put into one. They could have made a really good mini TV series about it. Each episode would be like an hour or two, have good actors. Anyway, each story has the same actors. Tom Hanks is wonderful. He plays many different races. All the actors play many different races, sexes, personalities, but the best of them being Tom Hanks and Hugo Weaving, the guy who plays Mr. Smith in The Matrix. And so he was awesome. His best role, I think, was in one of them. He played Tom Hanks's self-conscious or conscious, evil conscious, and he looks like it's basically a zombified version of Slash, the rocker Slash. So I thought that was cool. And then in one of his funnier roles, he plays another one. One of the stories is all about a group of old people trying to escape a sort of mental hospital or old folks home. It's like the great escape of old people. It's pretty funny, and it's actually kind of the cutest story I've ever seen in my life. One of the old guys, all he can say is, I know. But then, of course, he ends up saying other stuff, and it ends up saving the day. I'm not going to tell you how. I'm not going to tell you how any of them, end, because in some of the movies, some of the stories, characters die, things happen. Some of them, they end up being happy endings. There's just a big mix of emotions going to see this movie. There's big messages in this movie. I usually don't like when messages get poured down your throat, just like Avatar, Like Avatar was like, oh my god, the humans are so bad, and the army's so bad, but, I love the trees, so, fuck you, America, and, it's, oh god, I love the Na'vi and the mother tree, and it's like a week ago I saw a bumper sticker on someone's car that said, I only brake for twigs and leaves. Now that's kind of bothered me, because if someone brakes for a twig and I end up dying, I'm going to be really pissed. And twigs and leaves are dead if they're on the ground. They didn't quite think that through. Even if a leaf was alive, I wouldn't brake for it, but if they're on the ground, that means they're dead. Sorry. But, so this movie is really great. There's a storyline that is, it's kind of like Amistad, the movie Amistad, which is about slaves and an old ship in those times. And this one has a story about a slave befriending one of the, white guys. And then they form relationships, stuff happens, it's crazy. And then another story is futuristic sci-fi kind of action. This Asian clone lady whose whole life, all she's done is serve food in this restaurant. She gets groped by men and stuff. And finally, she gets rescued by the leader of like a revolt, kind of thing. And, I can't really say much else about that besides that in the end, I can't really say much else about that without ruining it. But, it is sci-fi, like I said, so if you're a fan of Star Wars and stuff like that, you'll like that storyline, because there's a lot of cool gadgets and, scenery and a new world. And they span all different time periods, in the 1800s. Long before that, there's some time periods that you think that is old, like caveman, but then it ends up being future. And there's some that you think that are a future, but they ends up being old. It's like there was a nuclear war or something at some point, or something happened, to do this to mankind, and then there was a new world. And so there's some things that are like from an old world where all they have are, stones. There's some things where someone will break out some pistol that's a futuristic pistol. It's like they're from different worlds, but they collaborate. There's a quote that the Asian girl says at the end. Or not the end, but, close to the end. This is about, throughout time and history and, in the future and all these different worlds. Why do we keep making the same mistakes over and over again? War is bad, all that stuff. It's a good message. We shouldn't, go to war, but I mean, sometimes you have to. And, why do we keep making the same mistakes? I have the quote, but I can't really look at it at the same time as I'm filming on my phone. So when I edit this, I'll probably put it like here, maybe. Maybe it's a quote right there, huh? Okay, yeah, so you saw it, So this is a good quote. And so, okay, what other stories that I forget? There's 7 stories in total, so forgive me if I leave one out or I leave good character out. There's a lot of stuff going on here. You guys can talk about all of it in the comments. I'll try and respond to them as much as I can. And, that's what I love doing. I love talking about movies to anybody. I love all races, all creeds, short people, tall people, fat people, skinny people. I didn't quite like Hitler, though. He stole one of my cookies from the cookie jar once. But, so anyway, Tom Hanks' favorite character of mine was, I don't really know what race he was. He was like a black guy with facial hair that was a script writer, I think, or he wrote a book. And he, a critic, really bashed it or something, and, he just, takes care of business, because, Tom Hanks, he takes care of business. That's all Tom Hanks does. Anything he touches, just amazing. Every character that he does in this movie has different accent, different personality. You can tell that he, really put his heart into it. Same thing with Hugo Weaving. He plays the evil old nanny nurse in the old folks' home that they escape from, and he does a really good job. It kind of reminds me of Monty Python. He's always the old lady like, "Hello, how's it going today?" Obviously, I'm not quite there yet. Almost, but not quite. And what other story am I missing here? Okay, so 1, 2. Another one. Tom Hanks is like a tribal person. They live in huts. And Halle Berry comes out of nowhere, and she's like, futuristic, arrives on a ship from the ocean, and they want to work together to go deliver a message somewhere in the mountains to save their planet or race or something. There's, like I said, there's so many storylines go into this that I'm sorry if I mess up one or if I'm wrong about a character, my bad, I'm sorry. But, anyway, what I loved about this movie is, it was 2 hours and like 45 minutes long. It was a really long movie, And so, the first half hour, you'll probably be really confused because it introduces all the characters, and you're just going, what's going on? There's different people every scene. They all look different. There's different settings and stuff. But once you get to know them, and you know what's happening in each story, then all you want to do is find out what happens to them, And so there were periods of time where it's going kind of slow. You're learning about the characters and what they're like. But then every story will hit the tipping point the action scene or drama or whatever at the same time. So then there'll be like a half hour that's just like, oh my god, that's amazing. It's just, like, there's an action scene in the futuristic one, there was stuff's exploding, then all of a sudden, bam, we're in the Amistad ship, and, people are taking over, and then bam, we're somewhere else, and, oh, I forgot a story. One of the stories is two gay guys who went to college together, 1940s Germany, I think, and, I'm really glad that... Here's the thing that I think about gay people. I know I don't really want to get into politics and, stuff like that on this channel, because all it does is kind of divide people, make people angry at each other. But, your sexual preference is, whatever you want. It's cool. I don't have a problem with whatever it is, but just don't flaunt it. I saw somebody on Facebook today talk about how they were gay, and I was like, oh, that person's gay, that's fine. And they were talking about how, people always ask them, did you go to that gay rally last week? Did you sign up for that gay thing I heard about on the news? Like, no, they were saying. Because, me, it's like, I didn't, did you go to a gay rally, or, sorry, did you go to a straight rally last week? Did you sign up for that straight pride parade? It's just like, do your thing, but, don't shove down people's throats. That's all I ask. But anyway, sorry, I get really off topic. It's kind of my brain hurts. Jimmy, Jimmy's my brain tumor name. I named my tumor. But anyway, so two gay guys. One guy is like a politician, and so they have to not really break up, but like separate. And the other guy escapes, and his dream is to be a composer for piano, and he goes and he becomes a prodigy of this old guy who's like amazing, and he's made the best composer of pianos in the world. And so they worked together for a long time, but towards the end, the old guy says, oh, I had a dream where I heard piano music and it's so beautiful and I have this idea. But the truth is, the prodigy, the young gay guy, he's the one that thought of the music, and the old guy just heard it in his sleep and had a dream about it, and he wants to steal it. So, there's the conflict in that dream. But, so, gosh, I'm pretty sure I thought of all the stories, but, like I said, it's greatly acted. Halle Berry's in it also. Halle Berry, she was good enough. She, her characters aren't crazily different. It's like, how many different black chicks can you have? It's Black Chick 1, Black Chick 2, Black Chick 3. One chick was like they had makeup on her to make her right, but it didn't really look right to me. But there's some other actors in there that did good, but, they weren't people that are as big names as Tom Hanks, So Halle Berry was in there. She did fine enough. She did her job. And this movie is actually directed by 3 different directors. 2 of them are siblings. And then there's another guy. I forget his name. I'll probably put in notification, like, here. And, basically, I know that this video is shot on my phone. It's gonna not show up on YouTube very well. But I just wanted to show people what my personality is like, see if people like it. See if people have suggestions to me, like, oh, you should talk about something more. I don't know. You can comment to me, and maybe I'll take the suggestion. Maybe I will. I don't know. But, just basically an introductory video. My first movie review. All the rest of them will be, with my laptop and expensive editing equipment and a microphone that'll make my voice sound like I'm really good or something. And, yeah. And so, I don't want to do a rating system. I don't want to say, this movie gets an 8.5 out of 10. Yay! Because then in my next movie, I'll probably think the same thing, and then I'll say, wait, this movie is better than the last one. So what rating should it get? And then I'll just confuse myself. So I'm not going to give ratings. I'll just be like, this movie's good. I would recommend this movie to people. There's a lot of big topics in today, like the gay thing, the old people that are abused in old folks' homes, the what else is there? God, cloning. There's cloning. There's that, and there's also, like I said, there's the Avatar thing, but it's not as shoved down your throat as Avatar. I feel like so the way they did it made it acceptable to me. It was good, and so yeah. So I shall see you next time, and I won't be in my car in the rain in Washington, all sad and mopey. I'll be in California, all sunny, with my laptop and my fast internet connection, because all my life I've never had a fast internet connection, and it sucks a lot. And I also had an energy drink about halfway through, because this movie was like 3 hours. Not that it was boring, just I'm tired all the time. That's what happens. I have a brain tumor and radiation side effects. Yeah. I don't know how else to say this. Just kind of like, you stay classy, world, planet Earth.